Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing good. I am absolutely worn out. For the ones of you who don't know, we had a horrible storm here Tuesday evening, and we had hurricane strength winds. And I'm talking about sustained winds of 80 miles per hour. Apparently in my area they went as high as 85, and in some spots even 90. And I'm talking about the sustained winds, not the gusts. So just a minute, I'm doing this. Hi Sharon. So before I get back to my story, hi Darla. This is a Skinner blend that I'm trying to keep fairly narrow, and I have the oh god, what's the name of it, the Peacock White Pearl with a little bit of Sunshine Yellow, and that's here and here. And this one is the I think it's Sunset Pearl. And I'm doing a Skinner blend again that I'm trying to keep very narrow. Okay, so back to my story. Hi Mona. So we had that horrible storm Tuesday evening, and it practically messed up the whole power grid. I lost power at like 10:30, close to 10:30 Tuesday evening, and we were supposed to have the next day 104 degrees. We only had like 103, but still the heat index was like 100, and there was no sign of, hi Catherine, there was no sign of the power coming back out. My luck was that I have a very, very good friend on the other side of town, and they have a big house, her and her husband, and it's just them. So she came and picked me up with the cats, and I have been there till Saturday. Got back Saturday at noonish. Power didn't get back in my area until, I don't know, it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening, Friday evening, but it was too late to come, you know. And besides, house needed some time to cool off, because we had all this time between Tuesday and yesterday, we had 100 and over temperatures with anywhere between 107, 108 to 110 heat indexes. So anyway, so you don't need it to be perfectly Skinner blended. It's okay like this. So to get back to my story, I still didn't manage. I only checked one tub of polymer clay. The stuff that I had here right near my workstation seems to be mostly okay, because you can imagine that the temperature in my house went above 100. So that is for sure. I mean, if it's 104 outside after 2 or 3 days of no AC whatsoever, it's going to get 100 inside. So I'm really worried about my polymer clay stash. Yes, I cannot even begin to say how thankful I am to my friend for all this, for all the help she gave me. Okay, this should work. But anyway, so I got around noonish home. Then she went because she needed to get gas. So we unloaded the cats and all their stuff because, of course, I had to take one of their litter boxes and their food and their dishes and water and food dishes and all that stuff. So we just unloaded. She went to get gas while I was setting everything in place, and then she took me to get some in Midwest City. That's a suburb of Oklahoma City. I was amazed that the national news didn't talk a lot about this. And unfortunately, my area was the last to get power because I live very close. I mean, like, I don't know, 100 yards from one of the main streets in Midwest City. And apparently there was a domino effect. There were a lot of, oh God, give me just a second and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. But it was a domino effect. One pole fell, and it just pulled everything else down. And they had, okay, so let me switch to display. This is what, so you can see 300 power poles, 115,000 feet of lines. Yeah, it was horrible. So even yesterday when I got home, we had to take some detours because it was still closed, because all the whole stretch of a block, all the power poles were down. So anyway, I got back home after grocery shopping. It was, I don't know, like 20 minutes or 1:45, and then she left. And I cleaned the freezer and I cleaned the fridge and I threw away everything that was in there, except for some red onions that somehow were like, we don't care, we are good. And then I put the groceries away. And then, to be honest, I slept as I got crushed, because you have to think that just from the car to the house and from the car to the store and back, the temperature was 96 with 109 heat index. You would walk like 30 feet and you would be like so anyway, I did some more stuff around the house because I had dishes to Kalyana to do, and then I fell asleep close to 9 o'clock, and I woke up during the night, but I slept till 7, which is amazing for me. I usually wake up around 4:30, and I had my coffee and everything, and then I went outside to start working. Okay, this seems good. To start working on debris, because of course there were branches fallen, and I'm going to try and find somebody, because actually I posted it on my own Facebook. Give me just a second and I'll show you. Two of my mimosa tree branches broke, and One of them fell on my car. The car is not damaged. Hold on, let me get back on the display. I am getting there. The biggest thing to tackle is this branch that broke and fell on my car. There's no damage to the car, but it's going to be a pain too. Okay, so you see and this is just in the front, there's a lot more, there's no big branch in the backyard, but there's a lot of twigs and smaller branches. So I messaged, there were a few people who posted both on Facebook Marketplace and on Nextdoor that they are helping disabled and senior citizens with debris cleaning. So I messaged them. I didn't get any reply yet, but I'm sure that they are busy. If not, I'm going to have to wait for a few days because everybody who charges to come and do stuff, they are asking insane prices right now. So I did this pretty much all morning with breaks, of course. And I still have some stuff. I stopped around an hour before starting the live because I needed to rest. My hands are sore from all the cutting. But anyway, I'll get there, but I am not I'm not entirely sure how much of my polymer clay is still good. Some of the stuff that I have here in tubs, I checked one tub and a few were not good, were kind of like, the half-baked clay type of thing. So I don't know, because I usually buy clay in winter and spring, so I wouldn't have problems with it going half-baked in summer. So I can tell you that's quite a few $100s worth of polymer clay that I don't know in what stage it is. I'll have to go through it, get like a package or two of the little tub and go with it through the pasta machine to see how it is. Hi, Lianka. But well, there's that. All right, so we are going to design a little tropical fish. Before I start designing it, so we have this semi Skinner blend, and as I said, at this end and this end, it's a white pearl. It would be like 3 parts white pearl and 1 part sunshine yellow, peacock pearl, and sunset pearl. And then I'm going to grab a black, and I'm going to go with it through the thinnest possible thickness. And make sure you don't grab any. And yeah, unfortunately, I had quite a bit of stuff planned for this past week for the 4th of July, but oh well. Mother Nature did not agree with me. So I'm going to get this again through the pasta machine on the thickest setting. And I'm going to put it here. So I was worried a little bit about my electronics, but everything seems to be okay. I had to throw away. I had candle holders on top of my bookshelves, and they were all, they fainted. All right, so what I have here is one of those little linoleum carvers. Let me grab my eyeglasses. And I'm going, if you remember, at one point I did, it was in the beginning of my channel. Let me actually search for it. I had done a couple tutorials with something I call the Kalyana effect. They're not as good quality as my later videos, because this was still, let me get the display again. Oops, not you, this one. And it looks pretty much like this. It is it's got a lot of chatoyancy. Not you. Let me try and get a, there we go. Why is it so? Oh, it wasn't on HD. And it's all chatoyant. Let me grab the other one, because there's one more. And hopefully it's, this one is HD. And anyway, what I want to, I'm going to share the link actually. Where am I? As I said, I'm tired, I'm sorry. So this is the link, but I'm going to use that effect style. Only that instead of using a ripple blade, I'm going to use one of these like little linoleum carvers, and you can find them in my influencer store under tools, polymer clay tools. So now theoretically, and I'm going to just go very, very slight. Let me grab a toothpick, because this is something, remember sometimes I like to show you stuff that doesn't need a cutter, so that you can do things that are not so like everybody else. It might involve a little bit of more work, but it's still worth it. So I'm going to do a relative fish shape, a little bit more bumped on one, more curved on one side. Actually, it should be a little bit smaller, so I have room for, I should have room for the tail. Alrighty, so I do have the fish shape, so this will be the mouth and this will be the tail. And I'm going to start carving. You have to come back to it, because you just want to carve all the way to the and I probably have a better carver than this, but as I said, I'm very tired, so And I suggest, as usual, to make it a little bit smaller than this. I made it a little bit larger so you can see what I'm doing, as usual. And these linoleum carvers, they are not very expensive. They are actually pretty cheap. You get 2 or 3 different different sizes and shapes. There are some that go more of a V shape, not round like this. Some that they are smaller but still rounded. And now we are going to go burnishing this whole thing. And as I've been telling you before, we burnish until we do not see any white areas. Here I definitely have a pretty big white area, and I am going to roll. Because it's not like I'm going to disturb a lot of stuff. And there we go, now we have a good. And once again, I apologize if the final result will not look super duper, because I am tired and my hands are tired. Yeah, the kitties were pretty good. I was amazed. I mean, I know Finnegan has an aversion to getting out of the house and getting in the car because of all his experience 3 years ago when he had that really bad obstruction that involved him getting surgery and all that, and it was during COVID, so I had to leave him there by himself overnight, and I couldn't go in there with him and all that. But the other two, they practically have been out of the house only 3 times in their whole life. When they got their first shots, and then when they got the second shots and got neutered. So, of course, Finnegan was very vocal. It took me a while to get him away from hiding to put him in the carrier. But on the way to my friend's house, they all 3 sang the song of their people. So it was an interesting drive. On the way back, though, Seamus only lololod while he was being carried from the bedroom to the downstairs and to the car. That was pretty much it. Alright, so we are good with this. I might actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some of these things that I already cut, and I'm going to put them backwards just for effect. But on the way back home, the one who was the most vocal was Connor, and Connor usually is a very laid-back cat. He is the most brave of all 3 of them. Nevertheless, this time he was horrible. He meowed the whole way home. And from time to time, Finnegan would answer. But they were so happy to be back. Alrighty, so let's do a little bit more burnishing. Yep, singing the song of their people. Hi, Janine. Hi, Joyce. So let's burnish these here too. It was overall a pretty stressful experience. And all this going back and forth in this heat was not something that I enjoyed. And I still didn't find my X-Acto knife. I have no idea where it is. I keep saying that I need to buy some, but then I also know that the moment I'm going to buy a new one, I'm going to find the old one. That is, you know, that is the law. No, for Connor it wasn't a problem of going home or anything. I think the other two were good because they figured out that I'm not taking them anywhere bad, you know. But Connor had to tell me exactly what he thought of the whole thing. So, okay, and now let me go again with my faithful toothpick. Alright, and I guess I can use a needle or something like that to cut the whole thing. And of course, after you bake it, you can put a backing on it and all that. So I got the main body of the fish. And now we are going to do something different for the fins and the tail. So a new one here. And what I'm going to do is grab a piece here. And this time I'm going to use white and oh, there's the white. Extend it a little bit to be, just pull on it a little to make it even thinner. Yeah, I'm home safe and there's so much work to do, but I wanted to do a lot this morning because today is supposed to be a little bit cooler than what's coming next week, because they're gonna be again in the over 100. But today is supposed to go only up to 91. So hopefully this evening I'll have enough strength to go outside and water. If we don't get anything, there's some storm supposed to brush Oklahoma City on the south side, and I'm on the south side. Okay, so now I'm going to get it again through the thicker setting. But this time, so again with the toothbrush, get it here because it's easier to see how I'm working, and I did contaminate it. So I'm going to get about like, and remember that I have it's the width, so it's like this. So I'm going to have a kind of a half here. And then I'm going to do it fan-like. But, yeah, all kinds of I'm glad it wasn't more than, you know, it was. So this will be the belly fin. And keep all these because we are going to use them on the tail. And this will be the dorsal fin, so going to start a little bit wider. And again, keep all the alright, and then again burnishing. But yeah, it was horrible and I was worried. I mean, you have to think that there's a lot of people, elderly, children, people who depend on oxygen tanks. I mean, and in that heat. And the thing that was that really irritated me for a while now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm completely thankful to all the power company linemen who went and worked there so long and in such a heat. But number one, like Wednesday morning, that was before I left the house, there were some news helicopters above head circling. I didn't know why. It was a little bit east of me, and then I saw, because I could use my phone, I closed the laptop and I kept charging my phone from the laptop, and I also have a battery. But anyway, they were showing transformers exploding, and they were covered in tree limbs. The power company hasn't trimmed the right-of-ways for years, so part of that is, you know, their fault. Sorry, but that is the truth. And second of all, they kept hiking up the prices of energy for a while now, under the reason that they are going to make the grid better and all that, and they are going to start doing underground. I mean, it's ridiculous. We are in Oklahoma, that's, after Kansas, the tornado capital of the world, and we still have 90% of our power grid above ground. And not only that, but like 90% of our poles are wood. So whatever transformers exploded and lines were broken because the right-of-way wasn't trimmed in time, you know. Then the second thing was that it took them more than 24 hours to come with a statement and to tell people what was going on. And you would say, yeah, but they were busy doing other things. Well, they weren't busy enough to... They still kept... Because people just kept commenting on their last couple of posts on Facebook, and somebody would go and delete those comments. So for that, they weren't too busy. But overall, you know, I mean, it's over. We got our power back and all that, so everything is good. Okay, so we are going to do, again, as I said, this is way bigger than what I would normally make the whole thing about this big. But for you to see the whole process better, and here I actually did go very big, but you can go smaller, obviously. And let me get I'm gonna do a little tail here. And we are going to put on it these. And I would go with these things much thinner, but as I said, I'm very tired and I don't want to start rummaging for my other carver tips. So simply this. I am glad that I still have a little bit of strength to be with you ladies here. Alrighty, so and then the other thing that you do once you're done with all this, you grab a, you know, like the end of a paintbrush or something like that. I like to use one of Tiny Pandora's cane thingies and round up the ends, and that way you won't have a lot of trouble putting on a backing and just and then of course another thing that you need to do is and just grab a pinch of the yellow and place it here with tiny touch of black to make a pupil. And then again you can use these. Let's actually use this white one. To create the and this is something that nobody will have. Of course you can make this smaller and this smaller, but again this is blown up so you can see the whole process. And as I said, you go and you kind of bevel this so that you won't have to work on the sides when you put on a backing. And make sure that the fins and the tail are well against the main body. I will turn it around so you can see what I'm talking about. And I didn't put nail polish on my fingernails because I was too tired and I wasn't sure it would be dry enough. But anyway, this is the whole idea of making a tropical fish using the linoleum carver. Yeah, and I fully intended to start for after the 4th of July to start with a series on tropical fish. I had a live with my sponsors a while ago. I don't know if I have any. Also, a tropical fish patterns. Because I've been I've been watching. If you have Amazon Prime, look for. There's a beautiful little. It's not a documentary because it's just music and fish. Tropical fish, and it's called Beautiful Fishes, even if it's not really correct English. And this is how it's called. Look for it, and I'm dropping stuff. There we go. This would be one of the effects. And this is all burnished mokumegane. Actually, give me just a second. Let me see if I can find it so you can see what I'm talking about. And my hold on, I changed my password. Typed it right. Oh crap. What pin? Okay, so let me go to video and search. Where's the search? Bejeweled fishes. Oh my god, so many pop-ups. Now let me get the display. See? This is what I'm talking about as effects. This one also. See how it changes colors, and I want to replicate that in polymer clay. And the music, I would like to watch this before I fall asleep because it helps me fall asleep actually. Let's see if there's any more. Yeah, this one again. But anyway, you get the idea. Well, yeah. Hi Elaine, glad to see you. Don't forget to give me thumbs up. I know you know that I am not very often asking for help, but if you can help me with stars or donations, remember, just donate on my website, not on YouTube, because it takes me a month to get whatever's on YouTube. And YouTube takes a part of it. But just in case, to cover some of my polymer clay and stuff, because I'm still on that, just on disability, and it's hard for me, and I'm going to probably have to pay some people to come and clean my garden, my yard, and it's so if you feel like it and if you can afford, don't forget to help me if you can, and don't forget to give me thumbs up, and please try the, what did I do with this? I put it right here. Try this, and you will see it looks much better. I don't trust my hands to resin right now to see all the pretty chatoyancy that comes up from this, but just the color gives you enough of an idea of how this is. And I hope to see you all next Sunday, and hopefully nothing bad will happen anymore, because I am tired of all this weather. This was the year of all kinds of stuff. I mean, we had all those spring storms and then all kinds of bad stuff going on. So let's hope we all see each other next Sunday, and have a wonderful weekend. And for next week, please stay cool, stay safe, and stay hydrated. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.